All right, so
Thank
let's
you.
get right to it, and then we'll do a little background on you. What is the big announcement?
Los Angeles, California, I will be running for mayor. And I am so excited to announce this to you with all my heart. I plan to fight for a state in the city of Los Angeles, and I'm just excited.
I'm excited too. So did this all begin with what happened at Gold's Gym in that totally viral piece of tape?
Yes, absolutely. I was just thinking about this. I was like, this was not on my bingo card for 2026 at all. But, you know, this experience just woke something up in me, and it caused me to have to look out and see where I would be able to get help. And at first, I was actually looking for a candidate to support because I didn't even think that I would do this. And as I looked through the candidates who were running and what they stood for, I said, there's no one that I could support there. So I said, well, I got to do it myself.
That's amazing. I agree with you. I just took a quick look at who's running, and this does not seem to be a prominent issue, if an issue at all, for any of them. Let's go back and talk a little bit about how you got here. You're 43 years old. Where are you from originally? Where were you born and raised?
I'm originally from the Bronx, New York City, born and raised.
Right on. Right on. Okay. And then how did you find your way out to Los Angeles?
Well, about 2009, I was invited out to Malibu to write some songs, and I just fell in love with the city. It was just such a beautiful place. I landed and I was like, wow. And I was supposed to be there for about 4 or 5 days, but I winded up, I did a great job, and they were like, no, you can't leave. We need you here for months. So I winded up moving to Malibu straight from the Bronx. And that was culture shock and one of the most beautiful experiences of my life.
I'll bet. I can only imagine how that went. So you're a singer and you're a songwriter. You've written for Alicia Keys, for Diddy, for Kanye, some very big stars. You also sing your own songs. We pulled a little clip of one. Hope you don't mind. We thought we'd play it for the audience. This is a bit from I'm So Lucky from December last month.
I got air in my lungs, I'm so lucky. I got shoes on my feet, I'm so lucky. Got a roof over my head, I'm lucky. I got water to drink, I'm so lucky. Got light in my eyes, I'm so lucky. I got love in my life, I'm so lucky. I got fate on my side, I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky, I'm so lucky. I do what I love every day. I always make a way out of no way. In this life you get more than you take.
That's amazing. And I love the sentiment because that explains the permanent smile on your face, Tish. Like that attitude of gratitude it serves everyone well. So I love that you put it to song.
Well, your latitude is based off your attitude. And, it's a hard life no matter who you are, but you've got to be happy about having life. Because if you're alive, then you just beat out everyone who's not, and you have an opportunity to make things great or make things better.
So you're out there in Malibu, and unlike 99.9% of people who do move there, you're actually making it. You're in demand as a songwriter, and you're singing your own music too. And you have a rocket body, so you go to the gym. That's where you got that, and that's where you maintained it. And just describe a little background about how you started to see, was it always this one guy in the women's locker room, or was it other guys?
So basically, I had 4 different experiences in a 2-week span. And it was 3 different men. The first time was a 25-year-old. Maybe, I don't know if he was 25, but he looked young. And I turned around and I'm naked. I'm like, oh my goodness. And I just say, sir, I didn't get anything else out. And he was just like, you can't tell me nothing. B word, I'm a woman. Very aggressive, very angry. And I was naked, so I'm just in a state of confusion, shock, and I'm pissed off because I'm like, who are you calling a B word? I'm not used to being disrespected in my everyday life. I respect people and I give it, I receive it. So that was the first thing. And it's just like complete shock. I couldn't believe it was happening. So now I'm screaming in the locker room, like, hey, ladies, do you see this? There's a guy in here. You guys okay with this? Like, am I crazy? Like, what's going on? Staff comes in and they weren't able to force him out, but I was making so much noise that he just left. And, you know, he didn't leave the locker room for good. His lock was still on the locker in place, but they made him leave as I got dressed. And after I got dressed, I went to the staff and I wrote a complaint. And I was trying to figure out what to do about this. And then they kept saying, our hands are tied by law. And I was confused because I was like, there's no way, there's no possible way that there could be a law that lets men in women's locker rooms when they're naked. I just couldn't even believe it. And so I went home. That day I actually posted about it on Instagram right away because I was just I felt violated. You know, I'm a lesbian woman. I haven't been naked in front of a man in decades. Not only that, but just the disregard for my naked body and being called this word, and just the whole thing was just like, you know, a whirlwind of emotions and all negative emotions, which I don't usually feel on a day-to-day basis because I live my life in gratitude. So yeah, and then, you know, I went home, I spoke about it online, and then my sound got muted on Instagram. It went kind of viral, but I had a lot of pushback from the community there. And it muted my sound, so I felt like silenced in a way, and almost like...
What do you mean it muted your sound? You mean actually the sound on the video got muted, or are you
yes,
speaking
the social media is, you know, I don't even know what's going on with social media, but they pick and choose what they allow you to post. And I guess what I posted wasn't something they wanted me to post. So it just was like, I went back to it after it went viral, it went mute. And I was like, well, I got to take this down because it looks like it doesn't make sense. And there's just like a bunch of hate in the comments. And it was a lot of, you know, stuff going on. So I was just like, all right, let me take this down. And so now I'm trying to just like, okay, now I'm realizing that not only is it a problem and there's nothing that can be done legally, there's something online that is like, it's restricting me from speaking about it. I felt silenced and I felt scared at this point because I am in the music industry and I didn't want to, there was just so much going on at once. I just got scared. And then I was like, all right, take this down. Maybe this is an isolated incident. Go to the gym the next day. And the next day I go back. I'm just trying to get back to my life. And who I walk into? This Alexis Black guy. And this time I'm like, yo, hey, I can't deal with this right now. I can't deal with this right now. You, what are you doing in here? You can't be in here. Oh, B-word, I'm a woman. You got to get with it, sister. And I'm just like, no, you're not. At this point, I'm a little more elevated. And I'm like, not with that big D, you're not. I can see it. You need to get out of here. You got on tights. You got on tights and a freaking tank top. Just get the hell out of here. You know, so I'm just trying to like force it out. And then he was like arguing back and forth with me. I said, well, stay here. I'm calling the police. And he's like, I got things to do. No. So he left. I called the police. Of course, they never showed up. Now I went and made another report and nothing was done. So now I take 2 days off because I'm just like, what is going on? I'm telling my friend and she's giving me the rhetoric of trans women or women. And I'm like, what the heck is anyone talking about? Am I in the Twilight Zone? Like, no, they're not. He had a huge penis. I seen it. It was in front of me. Definitely no man. And there was no woman in sight. And she's, you know, in her 20s. And she's just like, well, yeah, I'm telling you. And I'm like, all right. So now 2 days go by. I'm in the locker room. I say, I'm going to go to, actually, I wasn't in the locker room yet. I said, I'm going to go to a different location. Now, mind you, I work out a different time of day every day. And I also switched the location in hopes that the newer location, this guy wouldn't go to because it's a little more expensive. I was like, maybe he can't afford it. I don't even know. I was just hoping to not see him again. Yeah. I get in there. Mm-hmm. I do my workout. Everything seems perfect. Honestly, I was so happy to be there working out and to feel like I was in a sanctuary. I was like, there's no way I'm going to see this guy today. So now I'm telling a young lady, and I say to her, we got out the sauna. There's a young lady, I can't remember her name. I think it's Leah or something like that. And we're in the bathroom and we're talking about how the new facilities are so nice and clean. I'm like, yeah. I said, I actually don't usually come here. I had to drive a little further because there was a man in the locker room the last time I was there. There were men coming in and she says, what? No way. I said, where? And then Alexis Black comes out like a locker room bully. You talking about me, B-word? And I'm like, oh, I'm in shock. I'm like, what are you doing in here? And she goes, this girl is in her 20s. She goes into full-on freeze mode. And I go into full-on mom mode. I'm like, what are you doing in here? We're not supposed to be here. You're coming out here. Why are you here? And then he's like, straight women like to see D word in the locker room. So if anything, they're looking at me more than you. And I was like, what? And at this point, I'm just livid. I'm like, Get out. You got to get out. And there's a scene and they come in again. They get him to come out. He's standing there entitled, like, no, I can be in here. I can be in here. And then they get him out. It takes a long time, but they get him out. And then me and the young lady go to the front and we file a report together. And I'm thinking, this has got to do something. Because it's not just me, the angry black lady or whatever they want to see me as. Because at this point, I'm constantly being upset and I'm talking to the staff with respect, but I'm angry. So they've been seeing me for years. They never seen me like this. So this is just an uncomfortable thing, but it doesn't matter because it has to be done. So now we filed a report. I'm thinking something's going to happen. The next day I bring my friend who's 25, who was like, oh, trans women are women. So I'm like, all right, let's go to the gym. We go to the gym and what? He's there. It's like this guy was there all day, every day. I go to the gym at a different time every day. How is he always there? I feel like I saved someone's life, to be honest, because why was he always there? With his history and his mental state of mind? Why? So now she comes in and I said, he
was a convicted woman abuser, just so people know, and for actually very violent behavior against his ex-wife, whose jawbone he broke in a compound fracture, meaning the bone was sticking out of the skin. And then very creepily, he took her name when he decided to declare himself a woman. His name is not Alexis. He's got a man name. And he took her name. His name is Grant Freeman, but he took the name of the wife he beat, Alexis, when he declared himself a woman. Sorry, keep going, Tish. Disgusting.
And by the way, I had no knowledge of this. This is just instinct. Instinctually, just something was off. So now I tell my friend, I say, there he goes. He's on the grass. Look at him. And she looks and she goes, that's definitely not a woman. I said, yes, exactly. Now you see what I'm saying? She's like, yeah, that's scary. So now we do our workout. We go into I always do the sauna because I was very overweight. And I find that when you do the sauna, it kind of tightens you up a bit. And that's why I don't have a lot of loose skin. So anyways, we go to the sauna. It's about 8 women in the sauna. I've been trying to get girls together now throughout this whole process. I've been collecting emails and telling girls. So now we're in the sauna. I'm like, listen, girls, there's men coming in here. And they're like, what? I'm like, yes. And one of them is here right now. He's out there somewhere. I hope he doesn't come in here today. But I'm telling you right now, there are men coming in the locker rooms. And we had like a little powwow about it in the locker room. And there was one girl in there, I remember, we all had on towels. There was one girl in there, she didn't have on towels, she had on her gym clothes. And she was sitting on the bench. And one of the staff comes in and says, hey, we don't allow clothes in there. So she goes out to change her clothes. And I thought that was very strange because like,
that is weird.
You telling her to get naked? Okay, interesting. So she goes out of the sauna. Right. And then she's like, like a child, she comes back. He's in there. He's in there. So now I'm like, nah, I got the girls with me. We're getting them out. So I'm like, come on, girls. Don't you know all those girls ran away? They didn't want nothing to do with it. I came out there by myself with my friend. And they slowly triggered. I'm like, girls, come on. I'm like, well, forget it. And I start approaching them. I'm like, you can't be in here. Enough's enough. Get out. And he's like, no, I can be in here. And one brave woman took camera. The footage that we got of him in the bathroom, there was a video that went viral of him inside the locker room. That wasn't taken on my phone. So, I get the airdrop from a cell phone of the video footage of me confronting him. And I'm like, great, I'm posting that online. So I posted on the internet and it gets quite viral because I put Marvin Gaye behind it because there was no sound. So I put Marvin Gaye behind it. And I go, what is going on? This person told me they're a woman. Am I crazy? And then the comments went crazy with positivity and people saying, what is that? That's crazy. And that let me know right then and there that this has been silenced. And most women and men in the world do not know what's going on.
A new year means new financial goals like making sure your savings are secure and diversified. Will this be the year you decide to talk to someone from Birch Gold Group? They use an educational approach with a deep understanding of macroeconomics. There are forces pushing the dollar lower right now and gold higher, which is why they believe every American should own physical gold. So until January 30th, if you are a first-time gold buyer, Birch Gold is offering a rebate of up to $10,000 on qualifying purchases. To claim eligibility and start the process, just text MK to 989898. Birch Gold can help you roll an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold, and you are still eligible for a rebate of up to $10,000. Consider making right now your first time to buy gold and take advantage of a rebate of up to $10,000 when you buy by January 30th. Text MK to the number 989898 and claim your eligibility today. Again, just text MK to the number 989898 to check it out. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.